Fairy Pony! This is Springheart the Llama, and welcome to Brony Not Brony, a show where we go back and take a look at old episodes of Friendship is Magic. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Springheart, you're clearly a brony, so where does the non-brony of this title show come from? Well, for years, my best friend has endured me rambling on for hours about a show she knows very little about, and with her verbal consent, we're about to change that. So we've hopped through a portal, trotted right on down to City Hall, registered her equestrian name, and given her a nice little house down in Ponyville, and we're about to get this experiment on the way to see if she actually likes this show or if she's going to rip it a good new one. So would you like to introduce yourself to the brony community in your equestrian name?
Hi, I can't remember my equestrian name.
Oh, we're getting off to a grand old start.
Something about sewing.
Oh, yes.
I like to sew.
So this is Satin Stitch, a earth pony who sews costumes, and I've given you way more of a backstory than I've given my own character.
It's not hard. I do actually like to sew costumes.
Yeah, I know, this is exactly why. So yes, for all extended purposes, when referring to my best friend, please refer to her as Satin Stitch.
And you're a llama, apparently.
Yes, I am Springheart. She will refer to me as Springheart because that's how we're rolling. Welcome to the brony community. Yay! Welcome, non-brony. Let's see if we can convert you.
Probably not. Not at this rate.
No. Yeah, you wrote lots of notes for this. So today's show, we're going to be talking about the episodes that started it all. Friendship is Magic Part 1 and 2. So if you'd like to pause the episode right now, it's currently on Netflix Canada, and I'm sure it's on Netflix US and several other ones. So yeah, pause the video and come on back. Alright, and we're back! So, the season opener. And before we jump into the giant pile of notes that you wrote, I would like to ask a very important question that I have. As you have just watched 2 episodes, who is your favorite pony? If you had to pick one.
The one that likes to sew, because that's the only thing I have in common with this show.
Oh, we're doing real bad. Okay, so on a scale of brony not so brony, we are on the not brony path.
I can't even see the path.
Oh, we are eternal darkness for all. You're on the nightmare path.
Okay, don't get me started about this nightmare character. I would have been interested if it went a whole different way.
Okay, all right. So this episode starts out with our main character, Twilight Sparkle, just in character a lot, just being a grumpy nerd.
Actually, the beginning kind of had me interested. I'm like, okay, I got some lore.
Right, the lore.
Yeah. So we got these 2 sisters, night and day. I'm like, okay, so they're basically like the goddesses of this realm?
They're debatable. They're essentially their race is alicorns, and how do I explain this?
I'm gonna stop you right there. Don't.
Essentially, Princess Celestia has lived for over 1,000 years.
I got that.
Yeah.
She looks really good for 1,000 years.
I know. She's using some anti-wrinkle cream. Like, really? Like, what are you using, my dear? And can I have some?
I want to know what kind of conditioner you use for that, like, constant flow thing.
I know! That has not been explained in the show. I'll tell you right now. We're on season 8 right now. That has not been explained.
God, I did not agree to 8 seasons of this.
Like I said, this is an experiment. We'll see how far we get, folks.
Alright.
So, yes, lovely little intro into what we're about to see, and then we're hit with Twilight.
Okay, so, first seeing that intro, and then getting introduced to someone named Twilight. First impression, she's the little sister. That that is a show I would have watched. Where Twilight is the little sister, and she has amnesia or something, and her older sister is actually tutoring her and trying to get her to understand that you don't have to just be a grumpy nighttime pony. You can also explore like different friendships and
Now, you've never, for the people who are listening to this, you've never been into My Little Pony before, correct?
Absolutely never.
Okay, so just a rule of thumb. Basically unicorns have like star names. They have magical type names. So it'll be like Starlight Glimmer or Moon Butt. It'll be like some like magic-y Shim Sham the Magical or
okay.
So basically, yes, that is you have less context to go on. So
yeah.
That is very interesting. Anyways, so Twilight is confronted with some people who want to hang out with her, and she rejects them.
Oh, yeah, the people who forced their friendship upon her until Stockholm Syndrome settled in, and she finally had to accept it because they weren't going away.
Okay, no, we're going a little... Okay, you're going a little further into the episode. I was starting with the first
really?
scene.
That's one of my first notes.
Oh, okay.
How they're forcing their friendship on her.
They just wanted to go to a party with her? Hey, do you want to go to the Moon Dancers party? I have to study with my one book. It's a really important one book.
Okay, you want to talk about books? Let's talk about the fact she goes to this place, moves into their library, so now she now basically owns their library. No one else can go.
Okay, no. Okay, hold on. Stop. You're going way too fast. You're going way too fast. Okay. So she finds out that Nightmare Moon's gonna come back, right?
Yeah.
And like, oh no, Nightmare Moon's coming back, and Celestia's like, oh no, you need to go make friends, right?
Yeah.
So she's staying at the library.
So the library has this nice little loft where they brought in a bed for her because
No, it's
they don't have a
it's
bed
like
and
the,
breakfast.
It's like the inn. It is the bed and breakfast. We're assuming it's the bed and breakfast. I don't know.
This library has some very interesting extracurricular activities.
I don't know. So I'm gonna teach you something real fast. I had to hold back a chuckle when the intro showed up because we are watching this on Netflix, by the way. As soon as the opening started, there's a little button that pops up when you watch stuff on Netflix, and it said "skip intro."
And I was this close to jumping forward.
It took everything in me not to push that little button.
Oh, quick thing on the intro. Even their intro is screaming in protest. My Little Pony. Ah!
It's actually interesting because I feel like they've actually like re-recorded the song. From my perspective, I'm pretty sure they've re-recorded the song.
So it gets better?
No, it's the same song, but I feel like they've redone the vocals. I could be totally wrong on this. Also, the voices. So interesting going back and listening to all of the Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and all of them, because they sound completely different from what they sound like now in the show, because the actors have had enough time to like grasp these characters, because Applejack does not sound like that.
The Hillbilly Pony?
Yeah, okay.
Also, the name Applejack just really makes me want cereal.
I wrote this down. I'm pretty sure you wrote this down. How are the Pegasi chariot horses holding the chariot up? They're not actually attached to it?
That I wasn't as concerned about.
No, but I've never noticed that before.
What I was more concerned about is their ability to fly seems intricately tied into their running. Because they can't fly without moving their legs.
I think I've seen that in other shows, though. I want to... was it Hercules? I want to say I've seen that in a different show before. Let's get back on track. So she goes to Ponyville.
With her slave.
Oh, is that where... Okay, we're going down this path. Oh my. Oh, we are derailing. We got on the tracks and just somersaulted right off. Okay.
Okay, I saw a dragon and went, that's actually kind of cool. I thought this was all ponies, but mystical things. Dragon, I can get behind that. Baby dragon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Spike, why are you wrapping a present for someone? Why do you have interests outside of my life? You should be helping me find this book and climbing these dangerous ladders when you're a baby and don't have fall arrest training, and it just seems very dangerous.
Especially because she has magic and she could do it. Yeah, no. She seems very...
controlling over him?
She seems very, like, full of herself this episode. I've seen more of Twilight, so this seems almost out of character to her. For me, it seems off.
Spike, as the only person with actual fingers, take a note.
Yes.
Do these things for me.
Yes.
And the princess does it too. She bosses him around like he's this child. It's child slave labor. I don't...
Yeah, okay, so, alright, so welcome to Brony Not Brony, where we rip the show you love apart, and, okay,
I might have gotten a little dark on this one.
Yeah, that's fair, it's the pilot, so what did you think of, Applejack?
Yeah, so first she goes to Applejack to see how the food preparations are coming.
Uh-huh.
Applejack instantly introduces this stranger to her entire family.
Yes, and extended family as well.
Her Granny Smith. Was she really called Granny Smith as a child? Or did that name develop?
Can't remember off the top of my head, but,
Okay, Granny Smith, come inside and play. Your grandmother's over.
I don't think, yeah, I don't have an answer for that off the top of my head. I keep thinking of the crackling noise her joints made every time she walked. She just gets off the rocker like click, 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 click. I'm an old lady. Like, I love you, Granny Smith.
Also, I wonder what would happen if someone was born into this family and didn't have an apple-themed name. Would they be shunned? Would they be, like, an outcast? Do they address this later?
Kind of. Spoilers.
Okay.
Kind of, not really.
Also, their eyes are too big. That needs to be said. Why their eyes are bigger than their brains?
So the look of this series, it kind of feels like there were two previous generations, and it looks like they almost meshed the two generation styles together, because there's a generation 3.5 and they looked super anime-y, and the generation before that they looked very horsey. Horsey. Like, that explains it. Yes, oh, of course! Spring Heart, yes, horsey, excellent, that makes total sense.
Yes, Logic.
But with bigger eyes, you can be more expressive.
Sure. Alright.
Roll with it, my dear!
I guess I can let that one go. It just really had to be said.
Let it go.
That is another conversation.
Alright, so Applejack, and then...
Who was after Applejack?
Oh, goodness, let me look at my list. Oh, I have a glare, so it was... in my notes, I literally drew a face, which is a glare, so it was Rainbow Dash.
So I'm not the only one who hates a pony.
Oh, no, Rainbow Dash is not my favorite pony. Yeah.
Alright. Rainbow Dash was kind of okay. She's full of herself, but like...
It gets worse. This was toned down, my dear. It gets... So I wrote in my notes that Pinkie Pie was at 11. Rainbow Dash was at like a 7 here. And they turned Rainbow Dash up to 11 later.
Oh, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say about that.
No, that's fair. That's, it's just Rainbow Dash. She's like the athletic one.
Sports.
She's quote unquote awesome.
Gotcha.
Yep. I know people really like her, and I can't argue with if you like her, but she's not my cup of tea.
She's got the coolest looking mane.
It's a rainbow. It looks really cool when she flies real fast, because it's a rainbow. Because she's in the sky, like a rainbow. Oh!
And controls the weather?
No, she doesn't control the weather. She just kicks the clouds so they go away.
But she brought in a rain cloud and then...
Well, she moved the rain cloud. Pegasi, long story short, there's a city in the sky where the Pegasi live.
City in the sky with rainbows.
Oh, goodness gracious. Cloudsdale basically produces weather, and the Pegasi, like, move clouds.
I'm sorry, what's Dale? I don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes, do I?
Welcome to Wonderland, Alice.
I'm really giving off the impression that I don't like things.
I know.
I do like things. I like sewing.
I know. You're the Slytherin to my Hufflepuff. And then we went to Fluttershy's introduction, and
she was cute.
I know.
She was really cute. I did not hate her.
Mm-hmm.
See? I don't hate things.
Oh, look, something you liked! Check mark! Yay!
I said I didn't hate.
Oh, okay, okay.
She was the only one that was like, I'm not going to push my friendship on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was just very interested in Spike and his entire life story.
And Spike was happy to tell her. And
yep.
Twilight was like, how dare you interrupt my slave work?
How dare you not interact with me, but interact with Spike, who's on my back.
And it is a lesser being than the great
The great and powerful Twilight! You'll learn about that reference later. So yes, then Pinkie Pie throws a party, and Twilight is having none of it. Because all she wants to do is read a book that she doesn't know that's actually there.
At least that much I understand.
Yeah, the anti-socialness, the wanting to be an introvert.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to be in my own world. And again, they're shoving their friendship down her throat. Like, what about her needs, okay?
See, the funny thing, the one thing I did like about her being a grumpy pony was the fact that every time they said, "You're our friend," she'd make this, like, little cringe face, like, ugh! Like, it was like, stab, stab! Like, every time they said friendship, like, I didn't agree to be your friend. Like,
I felt the same way every time they said friendship.
Like, it's just a casual word for them. Like, it's almost like acquaintance for them.
Ironically, they stay up all night partying, which is something that the Nightmare sister would have loved.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like,
it's like, yeah, Celestia's trapped Nightmare Moon in the thing for 1,000 years, but Celestia's technically been celebrating her sister
without her. Like, oh look, I'm going to lock you away for 1,000 years, but also I'm going to throw all these parties you can't attend.
Yeah.
Friendship is not magic, it's Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, yeah, well, it's a little more complicated than that. Because Nightmare is actually its own entity. But anyways, that's a whole other ball game. So, yes, Nightmare Moon shows up and is like, "What up? I'm crashing your party! No more sun for you! No more sunbathing! No more that! No more this! No more Princess of the Sun! Mic drop."
And they all freak out as though it's the end of the world, and yet that means their midnight party can last forever.
I know, and she has, like, the best, like, cyclone hair ever. Oh, your princess has, like, nice wavy hair? Check out my cyclone hair of doom!
That she loses at the end of the episode.
Yeah, well, no, that's Nightmare's ability, but,
Oh, okay. It's a thing she does.
Yeah. Don't worry, Luna gets cool hair eventually. They decided that they were gonna revamp her.
Oh, real quick, going back. So Twilight walks into her quote-unquote bed and breakfast,
or whatever we're gonna refer it to, yeah. Her accommodations.
Yeah, her accommodations, the library, and starts talking about how annoying all these ponies are. Forcing their friendship down her throat. And then the lights turn on and nobody heard her say a thing.
I know! I noticed that too. I was like, is no one gonna comment on... No?
No. They're all just sitting quietly in the dark like, oh, she really hates us. Surprise!
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. I was just, okay, alright, we're doing this. Cool.
Really awkward.
Yeah, so that was... Do you have anything else to say for part 1, or are we gonna move on to part 2?
We didn't talk about the one pony I do like.
Rarity.
Yeah.
Yes, introducing Rarity.
That was kind of cool. She's got, like, the magical... And, like, they don't have hands, so it makes sense, because she has to be able to sew.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the magic and the sewing. Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make sense. It's the only thing in this entire thing that made sense to me. I'm like, yes! You rock that magical outfit gathering stuff.
Mm-hmm. Gonna have to give you a horn, aren't I?
Man.
Poop horn.
No. Take that away.
Poop horn's gone.
I'm green. I'm my favorite color. Look, a thing I like, green.
Ooh! Yay! two things.
Shut up. I like Rarity. She's cute for a pony.
One of us.
No! Get that chant back in your corner.
Okay, fine. Alright, so that was episode 1. So the second part opens up and Nightmare Moon is like, "Hey! I'm here now!" And they're like, "What did you do with our princess?" And like, "Don't you recognize me? Does the crown mean nothing?" They're like, no, we have no idea who you are." It's like, "Yeah, it's been 1,000 years. Of course we don't know who you are."
Was she wearing a crown? I was trying to see a crown. I didn't really...
No, it's not a crown. It's like a helmet she's wearing. Which, yeah, she said she had a crown on, but she honestly has like a helmet, like a war helmet on.
Alright.
Yeah, so then she's like, "You'll never see your princess again," and GTFO. She runs off, and then Rainbow Dash, who we saw in the previous episode, another reason why I'm like, come on, Rainbow Dash, is like, "I'm gonna chase after you." The pony who could, like, you know, destroy these clouds in 10 seconds flat, like, runs out, or flies out. I'll use the right terminology. And then, like, stops. Pony that can fly real fast stops.
Yep. Also, they really like biting each other's tails to stop them.
I don't know. So Applejack, I've only really seen Applejack do that this episode. I don't really remember her doing that really ever after this.
I'm sorry, but in no way, shape, or form would I ever bite something that comes out of somebody else's rear end.
See,
they don't have hands!
But they use their hooves a lot like hands.
That makes no sense!
They hold glasses, they write with pencils, they flip through books.
So they don't need to use child slave labor to make notes.
No, Spike's a special exception to the rule.
They choose to employ.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's move on from they have an interesting relationship. So Twilight goes back and is like, "I have to find these elements of harmony." And Rainbow Dash is like, "You're a spy!" And
is very stupid about it,
yeah I know. Yep. Rainbow Dash, my quote-unquote favorite pony of all time.
So Twilight's looking for this book. She really needs this book.
Yep.
And she spends a lot of time in libraries.
Yep.
It's pretty much all she does. The books are more or less her friends, other than the...
If she could marry a book, she would marry the books.
Yeah. But she also doesn't know how they're categorized, because literally she's looking everywhere. And then the other one is like, "Yeah, it was under, like, its title name. Here you go.
It's under E!" Like, that's not how libraries are organized, but I guess...
Maybe that's why it confused her?
Yeah, maybe because they don't have the right...
They don't use the Dewey Ponial system?
Oh, very nice. Oh, I tried to use a pony pun. Slowly but surely.
Okay, stop. No.
Okay, sorry.
Not happening.
I know, I tried. So, they find out that the element of harmony are in the
the creepy forest.
The spooky forest of doom that I forget the name, and I'm pretty sure it's the Everfree Forest.
And even though if we don't do this, it will be eternal nighttime, the rainbow one's like, "I'm gonna tell a spooky story now."
Yeah, and does the creepiest, weirdest walk that, like, half of her hoof that shouldn't move the way it does this weird, like, movement. Like it's a hand.
Their hooves do a lot of things they shouldn't do.
Yeah, which, like, occasionally they do unnatural horse movements, but this was a very unnatural looking movement. Ugh. It was very uncomfortable. Like, Rainbow Dash, my favorite, not favorite pony. Oh, so the spooky fog is following them. Spooky, sparkly fog that is obviously something that's trying to stop them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I wonder what it could be from reaching the elements of harmony. The first trial to stop them from reaching the two sisters' castle. They fell down a cliff, right? Yes, it was Applejack's thing.
They fell down a cliff first?
Yes, it was the cliff first. I wrote down cliff.
Oh, okay.
And Applejack takes Twilight's hands and is like, "Trust me. It's okay if you fall to your death. You have magic. you can, magic yourself, but it's okay.
That did piss me off. We're all fine. We're all falling and we're gonna die. And the two are like, yeah, no, we're flying. We're fine. Oh, I guess we should help the other ones. But then Twilight is like, gonna go off the edge. And she's like, I have no ability to possibly magic my way out of this.
I only read books. I don't have field experience.
And then worse yet, Applejack is like, no, it's okay. I came to save you, but also you should just fall. I'm not gonna tell you that the other two are behind you and about to catch you, because that would make you feel too at ease. Mm-hmm. You should just trust me.
You know what? It was a friendship test. It was like those things you do at leadership camp, the fall tests.
Do you really do those with people you've known less than 24 hours?
Yes, actually.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, I've gone to leadership camps where it's like those fall trust me tests where you fall backwards into a group of people.
No.
Yeah, I have. No, that's exactly what that was. Mm-hmm. Now that I think about it.
Alright, so they accomplish that, and then they go...
The Manticore showed up.
Which is the classic, thorn in the paw of the lion story.
Wait! Yeah, let's beat it up! Boom, boom, boom! Wait!
Damn it, Fluttershy, speak the frackle up. Ugh.
Someone buy her a megaphone.
Just install it on her voice box.
She's so cute. You think Twilight Sparkle would have read about a Manticore, though. If we're gonna be, super nerdy about this. But, so yeah, Fluttershy shows an act of kindness. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, it's not like there's 6 ponies and there's 6 elements and...
What?!
And along the way they discover things about themselves that makes them these...
It's not like they then wander into a reenactment of the Snow White tree scene with a bunch of scary, horrifying trees that try and scare them, and then Pinkie Pie starts laughing and they break out into a song number.
Hey, Springheart.
Hey, what's up? Satin Stitch? My good old buddy, old pal.
You didn't tell me it was a musical.
I didn't tell you because not every episode has songs.
I don't have anything against musicals, but why would they pick the most obnoxious thing to sing about?
I might have blacked this song from my mind.
I hope I can do that too.
I don't remember this song. I honestly don't remember this song. Not the best song from MLP. It's not on the top 10 or 20. Yeah. I was like, oh, look, it's Snow White, scary trees, and we're breaking out into... I remember this now.
Who's the next?
It was, your favorite pony at this moment.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, this moment I did kind of like. Mm-hmm. Because...
Tell me why.
The water dragon?
Hydra? We'll call him a water dragon. I believe people in the comments will correct us.
Yeah, please do.
Yes. Actually?
Please nerd us for a second.
Yes.
So the water dragon is having a fashion emergency. And I completely sympathize. This is probably the most touching thing that someone can do. Just see someone having the worst possible time and sacrificing their own well-being or their own needs for someone else.
Yeah.
This I can get behind.
Well, you've also been a cosplay medic, so you've kind of saved someone.
Yeah, that is something that I like to do. I like to cosplay myself, but I also really like going to conventions with my sewing gear and just everything decked out and being like, hey, your makeup is running, let me just fix that. Hey, this piece is falling off, let me sew that up for you. Cosplay. Yeah.
So yes, that was, I think out of all these tiny sequences, that was my favorite one out of all of them.
Absolutely. That's something I can get behind. The only thing that he needed after that was a bit of her mane to go into his hair so he had a purple streak and then it would have matched nicely.
Yeah. If we're really gonna be nitty gritty, yeah.
I mean, then he would have been just all out styling, but I understand why.
We're cut for time here. We gotta move. No, I meant the episode. Like they were cut for time together.
Yeah.
All right. So after that was my favorite pony, Rainbow Dash, who flew across and was confronted by the Shadow Bolts. Like, hey, we're the best flyers in the Everfree Forest, which is this tiny little pocket of Equestria. Just so you are aware, it's essentially right beside Ponyville. I'm just gonna let you be aware of that.
And apparently no ponies live there.
No ponies, but other horse. Anyways, spoilers. But yeah, we're the best flyers in this spooky, scary forest, but we need you.
And I mean, was that really a test of loyalty, or was that just a test of
not being an asshole?
No, of Rainbow Dash being like, you're actually insignificant and this isn't gonna further my career, bye.
Yeah, that's true.
On the other hand, what was kind of cool about that is we find out that Nightmare is able to transform herself because they disintegrated back into her smoke.
Yeah, it's almost like they were illusions, but... because...
It almost makes me question that maybe trapped in Moon Prison, Nightmare was like, I'm so lonely and I will make my own friends, and just had a really sad tea party.
So Luna is basically the princess of the night, right?
Yeah.
And she basically looked after dreams. So essentially her creating 3 ponies of like illusions or essentially dream.
Oh, it's Rainbow Dash's dream.
To be like a leader of a fleet is essentially what that was. You could essentially break that down too.
Gotcha. Alright.
So Rainbow Dash is like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be part of your very niche flying squad that I have never heard of. And they go in and find the very old elements of harmony that aren't very pretty looking and just little tiny...
The rocks.
The rocks. They're really boring, lame rocks.
Hey guys, check out my rock collection. I let it really get away from me for a while, but... Rocks.
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 Can't wait for you to meet Maud.
I'm afraid.
Oh no, she's pretty cool. Anyways, then they're like, there are 5 here. Where's the 6th one? Twilight's like, you have to have a spark, and I have to use some magic to get it to work. So they're like, let's leave Twilight alone and unguarded while Nightmare Moon is at large, and we've had to deal with shenanigans getting here. Let's leave her and let her do her business.
Hey guys, I have an idea. Let's shove our friendship down her throat, but then... But then when she might actually need us, abandon her completely.
Friendship. Except when we're on break, okay?
Break time. Okay, see you, bye.
Yeah.
What do you mean something happened to her while we were out of the room?
I was gone for like 5 minutes. Oh, and then Nightmare Moon's like, no, we're gonna teleport to the other room. I didn't like this room. It was too small.
I really need somewhere where I can let my mane flow out.
I know, because I have a big mane. It's like, not a little mane, but a big mane.
It's the main attraction.
That's the name of an episode.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Slowly.
Stop. Never.
So, Nightmare Moon has all of these, the elements, and Twilight's like, I'm a tiny little horse, and you're a big horse. I'm gonna charge at you. Nightmare Moon's like, you're kidding, right? And Twilight's like, I ain't kidding. I'm a tiny little horse. I shall charge at you. And it's like,
I'm basically a goddess, or whatever I am.
Like, alright, we're doing this. I'm in armor. She's in full armor.
Yeah.
Like, your tiny little horn against my sharp, pointy horn. But Twilight pulls a smart one and, like, teleports as they're about to collide.
Apparently anyone can teleport. I thought, oh, that's a cool, like...
Which raises the question of, if Twilight was about to fall, why didn't she just teleport to the ground?
Clearly she's able to do it under pressure.
Under pressure.
Stop.
I know it wasn't a good meme, I'm sorry. Twilight tries to, do the spark, and, it fails.
Her friends come running, and she's like, oh, I'm so happy to hear them. Because it's really settled in this Stockholm Syndrome, and I totally need them. And
yeah, and there's that tiny hint of a tiny Spock within her giant eyes.
Did you miss it, guys? Did you see the Spock?
Did you make the connection of the Spock?
Because
is it obvious? Is it obvious? Is it obvious?
Stop.
Did you get it?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Can you make it more obvious?
No.
Friendship is magic.
Friendship is Stockholm Syndrome.
So Twilight makes a speech, and I try not to cry while it happens, and you're probably rolling your eyes while that was happening.
I also tried not to cry.
For the opposite reason?
Out of boredom.
I was trying not to cry. And then they were like, taste the rainbow.
Which Rainbow Dash is all by herself, but okay.
And they defeat Nightmare Moon, and Celestia turns up. I don't know where she's been held captive this entire time. In a pocket dimension.
I mean, so Nightmare was stuck in the moon. I imagine she would imprison her sister in the sun?
I don't know, but she was off screen the entire time.
Probably in the sun. That's what I'm going with.
I don't know. It's never explained where she's been held. And like, oh, Twilight, you needed to make friends in order to use the elements. That's why I sent you to Ponyville.
And told all these people to enforce their friendship on you.
I don't think she told them. That just happened, but...
Oh, that's who they are naturally. Got it.
No, that's how they are naturally. Twilight's just a big grumpy face who needed to accept friendship in her life.
Sure.
Yep. And then Celestia was like, and now there's someone else who needs to accept friendship. My little sister.
Or do I have to lock you up again?
Or do... No! And then they're like, let's hug it out. And they hug it out. It's super cute. And then I wrote, not crying, not crying, not crying. And then Twilight makes a pouty face when she has the realization that she has to go back to Canterlot and not stay with her friends. And then she learns out she can stay with her friends, but she has to write friendship letters to Celestia.
Yeah.
So that was episodes 1 and 2 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Based on these 2 episodes alone, would you consider yourself a brony?
I am not a pony.
Brony.
Pony.
Brony.
You're saying that word as though I'm supposed to understand.
I'm Springheart the llama.
And I'm Satin Stitch.
And we'll talk to you guys later in our next episode.
Woo! I guess.
Yay!
I'm trying to be excited, okay?
Alright. Thanks for listening to us ramble on. See you next episode.